is Mrs. Murnaghan, and I have a fun lesson for us to do today. And yeah, so I have a fun physical education lesson, and I teach physical education at Glen Stewart Primary School, and I teach physical education at Stratford Elementary School. So first of all, just want to make sure that everybody has a safe space to move in. So just check around to make sure that you do have a safe space. Also make sure that you have, you want to have your sneakers on for this. However, if you don't have sneakers, you can take your socks off and you can follow along in your bare feet. Yes, so we are going to get warmed up to start. So just everybody, what I want you to do is we're going to play a fun little warm-up game. So when I say number 1, what you are going to do is you are going to do arm circles. Okay, so number 1 means arm circles. When I say number 2, that means you're going to do knee hugs. Okay, so knee hugs, you bring your knee right up. When I say number 3, that means you are going to skip. So you might want to do a little skipping forwards, skipping backwards. You could skip in a circle. You can skip on the spot. But when I say number 3, we're doing some skipping. All right, here we go. So we're going to start number 1. Number 2. Number 3, and I'll give you a second to see if you can do it before I start to do it. Number 2, knee hugs. And nice and slow, you want to do all these warm-up movements nice and slow to get the body ready for the activity we're going to do today. Number 1. Number 2. Number 1. Number 3. And a skip is just a nice little step hop. Number 1. All right, we're going to change the numbers up. So this time when I say number 1, you're going to gallop. So a gallop is when we step together, and we kind of pump our arms a little bit. You can gallop backwards, you can switch your lead leg, and when I say number 2, we're going to do some toe touches. So this time we're going to have our hands up and we're going to bend our knees and we're going to come down nice and slow and touch our toes. So that's when I say number 2. When I say number 3, we're going to do some side stepping. So that's step together, the same cues as a gallop, but we're going in a sideways direction. So step together. All right, here we go. Number 1, a gallop. Number 2, toe touches. Nice and slow while we're warming up the body, getting the body ready to do our activity today. Number 3. And you can put your arms out if you want, or you can put them up in front. Number 2, toe touches. Number 1, gallop. Galloping, our locomotor skill of galloping. Number 3, Number 1, Number 2. All right, good work. Awesome work. All right, so we're nice and warmed up now. So what we're going to do now is we're going to move into our lesson. So our lesson focus for today is we're going to talk a little bit about skillful movements and something called movement variables. So movement variables are how we change movements. And we can change movements so many different ways. But today we're going to focus on one movement variable called speed. Okay, so the way we can change movements is we can use speed to do that. So we can do movements fast, we can do them at a medium speed, and we can do them at a slow speed. And sometimes we use the word pace. So we can do them at a fast pace, a medium pace, or a slow pace. So I might use the word pace as well. So that is what I'm talking about when I do say that. So speed is what we're going to focus on today. So if you were to think about, perhaps think about a soccer game. Maybe you're, if you were watching a soccer game, or maybe if you were playing some soccer, what I want you to think about is in that soccer, there are times where you are going to be running at a fast pace. But there are also times in the game where you're still going to be doing the skill of running and you're going to be doing at a medium speed. Or you're going to maybe at some parts of the game be running at a slow speed. But we change our speeds not just with running, but all the different movements that we do in different activities. So also another example would be perhaps a dance performance. Maybe you can think about a dance performance that you've watched before, or maybe you've created one. And in that dance performance, there could be certain parts where you're moving really fast, or maybe you're moving really fast to music. And then maybe there's parts where you need to go really slow. So the body changes and the movements change based on the movement variable of speed. So today what we're going to do is we're going to do a little fitness circuit. And we're going to do lots of different exercises, but what we're going to do is we're going to try to do one fast, we're going to do one at a medium speed, and we're going to do one at a slow speed. But please remember that if I'm doing my fast speed, your fast speed might look different than mine. Your fast speed might be faster. Your fast speed might be slower, and that's okay. So just go at your own pace and make sure that it's comfortable for you. So the fitness circuit we're going to do today is going to start with pencil jumps. So I'm going to pretend, I'll show you the exercises and you can follow along if you want to just go through the movement, and then we're going to put it into a fitness circuit. So the first one is a pencil jump. So you're going to have your arms up nice and high and your knees are together but they're slightly bent, and we're going to jump up and down. And this is going to be the one that we do at a fast pace. So this is a pencil jump. Okay, so knees are slightly bent, a spring and a land. So we want to spring, land, jump off, take off 2 feet, land on 2 feet. So that's our pencil jump. Our second exercise we're going to do for the fitness circuit is a seal jack. So a seal jack, we're going to bring our body apart and then we're going to cross. Okay, so we're going to cross your arms and cross your legs. This takes a lot of focus and a lot of concentration, so apart and across, apart and across. And we're going to be doing this one at a medium speed, okay, at a medium speed. The last one we're going to do is an inchworm. So an inchworm, we're going to do this at a really slow speed. So you're going to come and you're going to bend your knees, and you can do this from your knees or you can do it from your feet. But what we're going to do is we're going to slowly walk the hands out, slowly walk the hands in. Slow speed. Slowly walk the hands out, slowly walk the hands in. And keeping the knees bent or moving from the knees. And that is our inchworm. Okay, so we're gonna start and you're gonna follow along with me. We're gonna try to do it 3 times through. So we're gonna do each exercise 3 times. And we're gonna follow the sequence. So you just need to follow me and have some fun. All right, so here we go. I'm gonna look at my watch to make sure I see where we are here. And pencil jumps, we're gonna do this one at a fast speed and go. So up and down, jumping, taking off 2 feet, landing on 2 feet. Good stuff, at a nice fast pace. And again, yours might be faster. You might be going faster than me, or you might be going slower than me, and that's okay. Your fast speed is for you. All right, and transition, we're going into our seal jacks at a medium speed. This one takes a little bit of focus when we're crossing the body. And if you want to cross your arms and not cross your legs, that's okay. Medium speed. Good stuff. Keep it going. All right, into our inchworm. Our inchworm, we're going at a slow speed. So nice and slow. Nice and controlled movement. Keeping the knees bent or moving from your knees. Good focus. Nice and slow and controlled. A nice slow speed. And here we go. We're gonna have a little break time, breathing through the nose, out the mouth, and we're gonna go right back into those pencil jumps. All right, here we go. Pencil jumps at a fast speed. You got it, you're doing great. Nice fast pace here. And again, your fast pace is for you. All right, into our seal jacks at a medium speed. Crossing the body, opening up, and into our inchworm at a slow speed. Nice and controlled, walking those hands out, walking those hands in. Nice and slow and controlled. All right, another little break, and we're gonna go through it a 3rd time, and you're doing great. Keep up the great work. All right, here we go. Pencil jumps, you got it. Fast speed, fast pace. Take off 2 feet, land on 2 feet, keeping those knees slightly bent. All right, here we go, into our seal jacks. Medium speed. Open up, across the body. And giving yourself a big hug every time you do a seal jack. All right, slow speed into our inchworm. Nice and slow, walking those hands out into a plank. All right, awesome work. You did the first part of our fitness circuit. Okay, we're gonna move on to the second part. Now, the second part, I'm gonna introduce 3 more exercises, and we're gonna keep the same, for speed. So the first one's gonna be fast, then medium, and then slow. All right, so the first exercise we're gonna do in this part, in part 2, is a ski, I call it a ski switch. So our feet, we switch our feet. I'll show you on the side. So So we're gonna do a quick switch. And our hands are opposite to the foot that we're moving. Okay, so it's a quick switch. So you can practice that one. And we're gonna try to do this one at a fast speed. All right, hopscotch is the second one. So we're going to hop. So we're gonna take off one foot, land on one foot. You can kind of think of a spring and swing. So spring and swing your arms. And we're doing this one at a medium speed. And I'll tell you to switch feet if you want to as we're going. Okay, so spring and swing, keeping that leg you're standing on slightly bent. Okay, for the slow one, what we're gonna do, you can come from your knees or you can come from your toes. And what it looks like is you come up and you're gonna move your paw prints. So you can move your hands and making paw prints, just slowly walking the hands side to side. And you can come to your knees at any time as well. All right, so those are our 3 exercises for our second part of our fitness circuit. Okay, so here we go. And our ski switch and begin. Good work. Keep going. You're fast and my fast. Might look a little bit different. And into our hopscotch. So our hop, spring and swing at a medium speed. And switch feet if you want. And I'm kind of going forwards and sideways and backwards. You can do it on the spot as well. All right, here we go into our paw prints. And this one, a nice slow speed. Good work. I'm gonna come down to my knees for a couple. All right, back to the start into our ski switch. Here we go. You can change directions if you want to. All right, hopping at a medium speed. Spring and swing. And switch feet. Good stuff, good focus. And slow speed, paw prints. Nice concentration. Nice slow speed. You can do it. All right, and back to our ski switch at a fast speed. All right, here we go. Medium speed, hopping, hopscotch, spring and swing. Switch feet. You're doing a super job. And here we go into our paw prints. All right, so awesome work with our fitness circuits. So now what I want to talk about is back to our movement variables. So throughout those circuits, we really focused on speed and we looked at that movement variable. But there are so many different movement variables that we do in in different activities. We can move at different levels. So levels is a movement variable where we can move at a low level, we can move at a medium level, and we can move at a high level. So another movement variable is directions. So while we're doing activities, we move in all sorts of directions as well. Sideways, forwards, backwards. We also move in different pathways. Zigzag pathways, spiral pathways. So those are also movement variables. But today I did want to focus on speed. So maybe you can think of an activity that you do where your speed changes. Perhaps you like to jump rope, and there are different times where you're jump rope and you're going really fast. Or maybe there's different parts where you go a little bit slower. So those are really fun things to think about. And yeah, think about an activity you do and how your speed changes. We are going to cool down now. So what we're going to do is we're going to start, we're going to breathe in and breathe out. Let's slow the body down. Breathe in and breathe out. Okay, so we're going to do a leg pull. We're going to hold on to our foot and we're just going to slightly bend the opposite knee and we're going to hold our arm up for some balance. So we're going to a nice cool down and hold it here and switch legs. Okay. So bringing the arm up. We're doing this nice and slow, holding here. Good work. All right, we'll come in, we'll take a seat. What we're going to do is we're going to just keep the knees slightly bent and bring the arms up and slowly come down and bring your hands to your toes and bend your knees as much as you want here. Cooling down the body. All right, we'll come into a butterfly stretch, so you can bring your feet together and just slowly push down on your knees. Just a nice stretch. All right. Now what we're going to do is we're going to roll our ankles. So we're going to bring our ankle over our leg and just a nice gentle roll here. All right, let's switch ankles. Good. Okay, let's roll the shoulders. Stretch the shoulders here. Go in a forward direction. And we'll do our wrists. And change directions. So we'll do a little bit of relaxation as well. So we can go crisscross here, or you can stay maybe how you were if you want to. So what I'm going to have you do is you're just going to try to squeeze your hands together, squeeze your toes together, maybe squeeze your shoulders up a little bit, and just hold them, squeeze, and relax. So try to relax your toes and your hands and your shoulders. You can close your eyes if you want as well. Okay, let's try to squeeze your hands, squeeze your toes, bring your shoulders up a little bit, hold them, and relax. Good work. Okay, let's do it one more time. So squeeze your fingers, bring your shoulders up, and squeeze your toes, and relax. Okay, so can just finish, can sit here with your eyes closed and relax, breathing through the nose and out the mouth. And you did a great job, and thank you so much for joining.
Hi there, I'm Craig Taggart. I am the technology education teacher at Queen Charlotte Intermediate School in Charlottetown, coming to you with a little project that you might try here at home. What we are going to be making today are water bottle rockets. There's lots of information out on the internet about this and how to do this. There's YouTube videos, there's all kinds of stuff. I've scoured, I've tried to find some different things. We're going to try and make one today. Never tried it before, but we're going to try it with you today. So this is going to encompass a lot of different things, using some recycled material. I'm going to use some old pop bottles, some old cardboard. The supplies that you're going to need are pretty simple, and we'll put that all together and see. It might take you a little longer, it might take me a little longer, who knows, but we're going to work at this together. So doing this is helping us to explore the world of aerodynamics, propulsion, and various aspects of science. Where it may not work perfectly the first time, but that's part of the learning process, and that's what you need to do. Problem solving. So if it doesn't work, go back, redesign, fix it up, try it again. Remember, it's through failure that we grow and improve. So what is it you're going to need for this? Well, you're going to need a plastic pop bottle. Don't use a water bottle because the pop bottles are designed to work under pressure. So pop bottle is the best thing. I've got a 750 or a 690 ml one, and I've got a 2-liter one. So we'll try those. You're going to need a cork. So you want a cork, and you want the cork to be able to fit tightly into the screwing part of the bottle. You want a really good tight fit so that you can build up a lot of pressure in that. It's the air in the bottle, that pressure, that's going to pop the cork and set the thing flying high, we hope. You're going to want some cardboard. I just used an old box from Amazon or something like that. People have tons of those around these days, so just some cardboard would work. The other thing I used, you're going to want, is some heavier cardstock or something. I just tore the case of a pop can box, case of pop cans, and use that. You could use a file folder as well. You want something a little more durable than a piece of paper. You're going to want a utility knife of some type. You're going to want a hot glue gun. Is ideal. If you don't have that, maybe some duct tape. You're probably going to want some duct tape anyway. You maybe want a little bit of Play-Doh. I'll show you why in a bit. And you're going to need a source of air. You can use a bicycle pump. If you've got an air compressor, go for it. And the other thing you're going to want is a needle attachment for the to inflate the pop bottle. Okay, so let me gather my stuff together, and we'll be right back. Welcome back. It's only been a second for you. It's been a little longer for me as I did some prep work. So while I was getting ready, put on my safety glasses. Probably not going to be using any power tools, but it never hurts. So you're going to be using a sharp utility knife, so you've got to watch your fingers. Remember, you want to finish this with the same number of fingers that you started with. So as well, depending on your age, you might want the supervision of an adult or even the help of an adult as you do this. So I've got 3 bottles here ready to go. Give it a shot. I have all my stuff pre-done, but I'll tell you how I did it as I go. So the first thing you want to do is you want to make the nose cone. There's a few different ways you can do this. Cereal box, as I said, the box from a can of pop works really well. I have a pattern, and I found that pattern online. I'll put a link to that, or I'll put it on my website, information at the end of the end of this. And so what you can do is you can use that pattern. The other thing you can do is if you take the diameter of the pop bottle and add 2 centimeters to it. And once you do that, make a circle and cut a 45 or cut a 90-degree angle out of it. We'll bring that a little closer so you can see. So what I did is the first one that I did actually looked just like this. Little Pac-Man symbol there. And then when I realized, and what you want to do is you want to curve this around this way, there was no real way to connect it. So what I did in subsequent ones is I just added a little tab there onto the side, and that's going to make it a little easier to fold over and fasten. So that's going to be your first step, is to bring this around like so, and you're going to fasten that. And you can fasten that with glue, hot glue, or you could use a bit of duct tape, or a bit of packing tape would also work. Okay, so we'll go and do that. So I've got 3 different nose cones made. I did one with hot glue. And remember, with hot glue, it is hot, so watch your fingers. So a little bit of hot glue. We've got this one hot glued. We have this one with a little bit of duct tape. And I made a larger one, and I just fastened that together with some packing tape. So all of those will fit on the tops of the bottles. The other type of top that you can go with is something that I found online is, I'll show it this way, it might be a little easier, is something like this. And then to put that on, take your bottle top, and it's just going to go around this way. So I'm going to try this one and see how that one works out too. And that I'm just going to fasten with a little bit of duct tape or something along that line. Whatever you choose to do, do the best you can with what you got. I heard that on a TV show years ago. So, you know, whatever you've got lying around, try it, see what works. If it doesn't work, see what else you can find. That's the name of the game these days. Especially when we're doing stuff like this that is a little different, a little experimental. And doing these things, especially when you're launching it, there are some precautions to take. The height of these, I don't think we're going to be going too high to interfere with airplane travel, but certainly with some of the more the rockets that you can buy, the kits that use the solid fuel, they go quite high, and so you do need to check with local airport authorities, especially if you are close to the airport for something like that. So I've just glued that or taped that one on, so we're ready to go with that one. We'll try that. Something else that I saw through my research was to take something and put a little bit of clay in the nose cone. So we're going to try that too. All kinds of experiments to try. I grabbed some old Play-Doh here, and we're going to shove that into the nose cone. I'm not certain what it does, but it might help with the flight. So we've got that done. The other thing you want to do is you want to add a little bit of weight, again, research shows, around the neck of the bottle. So again, I've got some old Play-Doh, and I'm just going to take and put that around the neck of the bottle here. And then I'll probably use a little bit of tape to hold that in place. I may use a little electrical tape. If you don't have any of that, use masking tape. And if you don't have any of that, some Scotch tape. If you don't have any of that, use medical tape. If you get any of that, again, anything that's going to hold that in place. So I've made I've got some weight, and I think maybe I figured that out, is it just allows it to sit a little more solidly, which is why you've got some stuff around the base. So I've got a couple done. My smaller ones I've done with the Play-Doh around the bottom. The bigger one I didn't have enough, so we're going to try it without and see what happens and how that works. The next thing you're going to want to do, get the bottle up off the floor, is to start to get your fins done. Now, again, online you can find all kinds of patterns for fins. I have I've found this one. It's got some different patterns there, and was able to replicate some of them. So I went ahead and cut some fins out of some cardboard. So I've got 3 different styles of fins. I've got a standard, looks like this one. I've got one that's a little bit smaller, and then another style. Now the way that I'm going to fasten these on is with hot glue. Now if you don't have any hot glue at home, try your packing tape or your duct tape again. So you want to try and position the fins at every third. There is, you can get, or you can find online, some diagrams to show a piece cut into thirds, easily done. And what it would look like is, if I have it here, something like that. And that can give you the positioning for your fins. The secret to working again with hot glue is that you do work rather quickly. So I'm just going to lay my pattern down on the table, place my bottle centered on it, and for the big pop bottle I'm just going to use my largest fins. So we're going to adjust the camera angle, And you can see what that's going to look like as we fasten that in place. So what I've discovered is that if you lay your bottle on here and just using a marker, that's going to help you mark where your fins can go. And then so we've got now, as you can see, we've got lines marked on the bottle to indicate where the fins are going to go. And then once you have that done, we can figure out where the fins, or the height of the fins. Now, the secret to doing this, what I've discovered, and I've discovered a few things as I've done this, is that when you place this fin on, if you have it even with the top of the pop bottle, you're going to end up, it's not going to be sitting down so that you can launch it. So you're going to want to bring the fins up a little beyond the end. Now, to do that, for something like this, we may need to remove some material here to match the curve of the pop bottle. So I've removed a bit of the curve from this, and now I'm going to go ahead and start to glue the fins in place. Again, remember, hot glue is hot to work with, so be careful with it. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue on here to start with, and glue that down in place. Hold it there for a minute. So I'm just holding that in place like this. And once that holds, then I'll be able to reinforce it with a little more hot glue. It's a good idea to have some extra glue sticks here. So I've got quite a bit on there, and again, hopefully it's going to cool not too long so that I can keep going with my others. So I'm going to keep doing that all the way around, and I'm going to do that with all 3 bottles. So here's what I've learned. I went away just for a few minutes and was able to put together a few rockets. So here's what I have figured out. Hot glue and pop bottles don't go well together. There's a lot of melting that happens. So if we adjust this and see what we've been doing here, I've had to rig up some positioning and holding things in place. What I did find was interesting. If you take and put a little bit of hot glue on the fin itself, and then let that cool down, and then add some onto the pop bottle, it actually sticks better. So I've tried that. And I've got 3 examples here. I'm going to keep going with the hot glue because I still need to finish these. So I'm going to add a bit more hot glue onto these ones, but it is causing a little bit of concern when it comes to inflating the bottles, that where the glue comes in contact with the bottles, it's made it a little weaker. So I'm not sure how that's going to work out, but we're going to give it a shot. Fins do tend to flop over. The smaller bottle stands up a little easier, and I can add a little more glue and hope for the best. But what I have found to be the best, again, adjusting the camera, is to use duct tape. So by taking the wings and putting a little bit of masking tape on each side, and I got them in place temporarily, then I can use the duct tape on each wing to secure it even more. And by doing that, I'm actually getting a strong wing, and I'm not melting the bottle. Trial and error, that's what it's all about. I heard something a number of years ago. It said, the only thing you ever need is WD-40 and duct tape. If it moves and shouldn't, use duct tape. If it doesn't move and should, use WD-40. So there's what happens is I've been finding that the wings are not staying on that well at all with the hot glue. Now, perhaps a lower temperature glue gun might work. You can get low temperature glue guns. But I'm holding out a lot of hope for my duct tape one. And it stands up. The fun part's going to be to figure out how to launch it with the length. So I'm going to take my little hat and put the hat on it, or the nose cone. Again, we're going to go with the hot glue on this one, just because the bottom of the bottle does tend to be a little more solid. So there's my nose cone on that one. I'm going to glue our nose cone on this one. Like so. And the other nose cone disappeared. But we'll find it. So I've now got the nose cone on, all of them. I've got the fins on, all of them. And I've got the cork. So all that's left to do now is really try and launch them. They don't look pretty. You could always take and put stickers on them and paint, all that other stuff, and really make it look kind of interesting. But we're going to see where this goes from now on. So I'm going to go and get these tidied up a bit, and I'll be meeting you outside. So we've moved outside. So I filled it about halfway with water. Ooh, hello. I filled it about halfway with water. And I've got the cork in it. And I've got the cork in as tight as I can get it. And now I take my little needle nose type of thing, and I'm going to push that into the cork as much as I can. Now I've had to set up a workmate to give it the so that I can hook on from underneath. You can see the water's pouring out for it to in order to get pumped up. So let's see what happens. I'm gonna launch a rocket.
Why? How much space?
3. I'm filming.
Cool. See inside the door.
So we're getting it positioned just right here, hopefully. There we go. And there it went. So we're going to try a second one and see how it goes. Okay, this is number 2. The other one did go good and high. We're hoping to get a shot of it in the height one. So the first one had the flat top. It didn't go nearly as high, and we used a bicycle pump. Now we're using an air compressor. And I'm probably going to get a little wet here, but this is the big bottle with the air compressor. Here we go. Whoa! Well, the verdict is in. We shot 3 rockets. I got a little wet. I did 2 with a bicycle pump and 1 with the air compressor. And of course, the air compressor went way high. And anyway, the end results. So the first one that we launched was this one. And it was the duct tape one. And as you can see, it's fully intact. Completely intact. Perhaps that's because of the air pressure. But nevertheless, it is fully intact and ready to fly again. The second one, which we did with the bicycle pump, which had the flat nose, lost a fin. It was also hot glued. So the hot glue did not work. It didn't go quite as high, but it did fly. The third one, which was the air compressor and which was the 2-liter one, as you can see, lost the nose cone, lost 2 fins, was a complete disaster, but boy did it go. Clear across the street, hit a tree, fell down through the tree. So bicycle pump does seem to work. I'd stick with the easier method of using the duct tape to hold it together, but use whatever you've got. Have some fun with it, give it a try, and if you're interested and if you want to see how it came out, let me know how it came out. My website is at the end of the video. You can upload the stuff there. I'll have a spot where you can go and upload some videos, and we'll maybe share them. Who knows? Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you've picked something up, maybe had a little fun, maybe had a couple of laughs at my expense. But nevertheless, there we go. Have some fun. Stay safe. We'll see you next time.